Run, ball, run! That was pured. What's up, bowlers, and welcome back to the Bowling Knightz Garage Shop for episode 12 of the Real League Bowlers Experience. Let's talk bowling.
And everything else.
Hey, we're very blessed today to be joined by our friend John McCarthy the third. Yeah. It is the third, right?
Yeah, I am the third.
It is the third, man. Yeah. So, I'm Joe Bowler, and this is Bud. Hey, this is what we do, man. We talk bowling. Our friend John here, we haven't really known John for very long, have we? I mean, we've known of each other,
but we've not
actually.
Yeah, we know each other.
Interacted very much until
when you had the shop at Exec. Actually, I think I got a ball or two drilled there when I was at U of L.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Cox was the one.
Tony.
We love Tony. A lot of our balls.
Shout out Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Cox. What's up, man? But John, he's been a big part of our local bowling community around here for a long time. What, last 10?
Yeah, definitely the last 10 years.
10 years. You're the Northeast Regional Manager of the USBC. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a fancier job title than it really is. But what I do is I provide customer service and education for about 12 states and about 350 associations.
Wow, that's
mostly in the Northeast. Kentucky is now part of that, which makes no sense geography-wise.
So, what states would you be?
Pretty much, we've got like Ohio up,
okay,
into Massachusetts, New York, and then I've got Michigan and Kentucky as well. So I service Kentucky because I live here. Yeah. It's a remote position, which is really nice. I get to live here in Louisville and have to move to Texas.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, you get to work from your home and you can travel all around. We'll get into more of that later. And he's also been a GM of a bowling alley here in town, 10 Pin Lanes. That's pretty cool, man. Running your own bowling alley, be in charge of the whole thing.
Especially being 10 Pin, because I grew up, Linden Lane's my grandfather built.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you all remember that.
I do.
But so I grew up in that center.
Yeah. His name's been around a long time.
He's got the name in this town.
My dad is in the Hall of Fame, and so is my grandfather.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I'm pretty proud that I get to have that. As
carry on the name, man.
Literally, because my name's exactly the same.
There you go. That's pretty cool. Anything else you'd like to say? Or?
Well, timeliness wise, I've run the Kentucky Open.
Kentucky Open
this weekend.
That is this weekend.
This is what your would you say?
This will be my 10th time
year running this thing.
Yeah,
got a full.
That's awesome.
What did you say?
Started me when I was young.
Look, he even brought a seat.
Look,
we got some.
We got a new.
I brought the trophies for this weekend.
Check them out. Some wood grain.
These are
compliments
real wood. There you go.
Hey,
Extreme Reactions and Joe Elam. He makes these for us.
There you go. Shout them guys
to give
out.
to our champions.
These are nice, man. I
really
like these.
I like these.
If you like them, he can definitely do them for you guys.
Yes, very cool.
He does an excellent job. He's done the trophies for about the last 6 years for our champions.
So whoever wins these is going to get a nice trophy. That's good to see that you do give out trophies, because a lot of tournaments don't do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, a lot of them don't. I felt like it was important, and I wanted it to be a nice trophy.
Yeah.
We've been doing like acrylics and some things like that.
Yep.
But like, I understand, the guy who comes in 22nd place doesn't need a plaque like in this tournament.
Yeah.
But to me, it's pretty cool to have at least something.
You want to be able to look back at something, and showcase. If you do something good,
I was fortunate enough to win the Super Hoinky when I was a.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't the Super Hoinky you think of. There was only about 80 people bowling, but I got fortunate enough to win, and we didn't get a trophy. And I'm always boned about I have no trophy to prove.
Yeah.
I just got the standings, so I had to keep that as the trophy.
That's why I save all these balls, man. It's just memories, man.
Oh, yeah.
You look back like, man, I remember throwing that ball.
It brings back, the good.
Yeah, people watch me bowl now. They would totally never think I won.
Well, you don't bowl that much anymore.
I bowl a little bit, but not like I used to.
You're more. You got more important.
I stay on the road a lot. I still get to bowl one night a week in league.
There you go, man. That's
I actually
like
won
us.
a King's Royal this summer too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? Hey, congratulations. Those are hard.
They were just hard enough.
I don't want to go out to.
Hey, it's $40. It's a good time.
I mean, I would bowl one just for experience.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, man, let's jump into this. He works at USBC, and I've always been curious, what goes into that? So, is there some stuff that you could tell our listeners, our fellow bowlers out there, what do you do as a Northeast Regional Manager for USBC? What's your job responsibilities? What is it that we do?
A lot of what I do is dealing with the association, so as things change, as rules change, as software gets updated and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like their customer service point to some extent. There's a call center at the office that that anybody can call, and so if you called me, you would actually, if I was available, they'd send you to me and you'd talk with me because I'm in charge of your region.
Okay.
But a lot of it is going out and doing education. So the associations have annual meetings every year.
Yep.
And they have jamborees and things like that, and so. For instance, like the new ball rules that are coming out that everyone's had some questions about.
Yep.
I've got a whole PowerPoint presentation that I go over trying to explain how it's going to work and what's going to happen.
So you go to individual league associations and you'll do your presentation, just explain.
Primarily, it's the states that I go to, because when you go to one state meeting, you normally get like 30 or 40 associations.
So you get reps from all the different associations.
Now, if you got issues, I've been to a couple associations one-on to help them with. For instance, Hopkinsville here in Kentucky, they've had a big turnover in their board and everything's going pretty well. But I went down to meet with them just to offer some help. And I had some questions, and it was easy because it was a short drive for me.
Yeah.
Am I going to go visit, Lake Placid, New York, and just drive up for a weekend? Probably not. But if I'm in the area, we try to schedule it around so you can visit associations.
Cool.
A lot of it's meeting them at the state meetings. I just got back from Pennsylvania right before Junior Gold.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I've been to like 7 states.
It's cool just to be able to travel around. Not people get to travel.
The best part is you go travel, but you're going to meet people who all love bowling.
Yeah, it's all for one. Yeah, common.
And they love the sport. You get to see all the cool things that they do. I went to Michigan, and they have this really neat tournament they run during their meetings for the youth bowlers, and it's invitational based on Michigan is a huge state with a ton of bowlers, like 90,000 bowlers.
Yeah.
Kentucky, by example, has about 7,500 bowlers.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so they have a lot of stuff that we don't have because they just have much more population.
Sure.
And so like they had the top 5 averages in every division, and their states chopped up into districts. Gets to come to this invitational tournament and bowl, and so that was really cool.
That's cool.
That's
a cool
cool
idea.
They have a lot of cool trophies. I mean, like you think about what's going on with the sport, but like Michigan, they had 1,300 teams bowl their state tournament. Mm-hmm. That's more than the Derby tournament. That's bigger than the Hoinkie is, right?
That's crazy. Man.
And that's just their state tournament. Yeah. I think Wisconsin has the largest. It's like 1,500 teams.
Wow.
Of 5-man. I mean,
that's a lot of teams.
That's great participation, man. We need to get the Kentucky.
That's you start with
it's regional. Yeah,
trying to work with the associations to figure out what they can do to improve.
Promote your league bowling because that's where everybody starts at.
Yeah, we offer an educational boot camp for USBC that an association, like smaller ones that don't go to convention, they can come to Texas and we give them 2 days of training on how you fundraise. Different types of things you do for your tournaments and things like that.
It also helps when you travel around. You can learn from different regions. How to improve your area.
And you take the idea from Michigan, you give it to Indiana, and you trade. Indiana's a good association. They got a lot of good stuff. I've got a new app idea that Indiana gave us, where it's free and you can have your own app called Team App.
Team App. There you go.
And so that's neat. And so you. I love to tell everybody that I'm a genius, but I'm just really good at taking. I say yes to a lot of opportunities, and then through those opportunities, I
know which ones to use. Though
I
mean,
you
can't
ideas.
use them all.
No,
you don't use them all. You use the ones that work.
Works.
I've been very fortunate to get to be involved in a couple U.S. Opens and Junior Golds, and you get to see how the big guys do it with all the professional stuff, and it's like, man, if I could just replicate that at the small level, this weekend we're going to try. We're going to knock on wood, scoring within the scoring system, like where your name would move and your totals would move with you.
Really?
We'll see. That's my hope. If you see the letters come up A, B, C, D, that means it didn't work.
Can you do that at all the houses though?
Yes, they've all upgraded to. I could always have done it.
Yeah.
It was just the older system.
They just ran different systems?
Yes. Now they're all in the same system. I actually have some options. I have a friend who's really good with cubica scoring. All 3 of them have cubica scoring.
Nice.
And so you don't even know what we use the scoring for is just like scratching the surface of all the crazy stuff it can do. When I did the finals for the Kentucky Open a couple years ago, I put the schedule in and put the bowlers' names in and told it what a win was worth. And so when they did the head-to-head finals, it moved their names to who they were going to bowl against and then gave them their score and their 30 bonus spins.
Oh, it did all that automatic.
So all I did every game was go up and hit print standings.
That's awesome.
I had to assign the 3 position rounds was it.
And I like just as being a spectator, I don't like seeing A, B, C, D, E because I'm not gonna know
It's-
every
Yeah,
bowler
and you don't
when I
know their
walk in
names.
there.
There's some bowlers you don't even know their name.
Yeah,
you
I
know
wanna
their
know-
faces sometimes.
But there's some bowlers I'm watching. I want to know.
Yeah,
who
you
want to
know who their name is.
So
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah,
if you
that
have
does
names
help.
up there.
So that's my hope.
like that.
I've been aiming to try to do it for a couple years,
That'd be great.
and this year might just be the year I
Get it
finally
in
knock
there.
that
Let's
one
do
off.
it, man.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
I'm a nerd for that kind of thing.
I am too. man.
The Excel sheet I use to run the tournaments, like I've tweaked that. Every year, my goal is to have one change.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the bowlers don't notice it. But this will be something that they'll see.
That's cool, man. That's always good that you're trying to improve, and he runs a lot of tournaments around here.
He
with,
knows.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
and leagues and stuff like that. So we're grateful to have someone like him around here.
Yeah.
Man, let's talk about this. Do you want to talk about the weight hold thing?
Yeah, we can talk about that. So first and foremost, the thing that's got the most attention is the weight hold rule.
Can you explain the rules to
Yes.
the people that
Yep.
don't know?
Which is
Yes.
coming
They're
on
coming
August 1st, 2020.
So you got
it's
a
not
year.
this year.
You got about a
it's
year
next year.
before it happens.
The weight hold rule is coming.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So the reason for that is when we designed, when the rules were created for the weight blocks for bowling balls,
Yes.
it was pretty much for like a blue hammer.
Right.
That's where we were.
Just
Well, balls didn't
pancake.
have a weight block in it.
Yeah.
And so what happened is technology moved, the rules didn't.
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of catching it up.
Catching
And so what we're seeing is that pro shop guys have gotten so good that they have found ways to kind of manipulate the weight blocks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is for twofold. One is there were some drillings that came up that were really strange. So they had one called a triangle grip.
Yeah, we
where
saw
you have
that.
3 holes.
Yeah.
Actually,
he
true.
did.
Actually tried
For a
that
two-hander.
Yep.
And so, like, that obviously was not within the intent of the rule.
That's like having 3 different
to give you
balls.
3
You
different
knew
layouts.
like 6 different. Actually,
so-
almost
yeah,
like
okay.
Yeah,
six.
it's like junior gold in college. They were counting that as like 6 different balls.
Yeah.
And so there was a version of it called the tri grip, I think, that was pretty much like 3 finger holes and a thumb, and you could move side to side.
Yeah.
And so those weren't in the intent.
Yeah.
Why it was created. The times have changed. the
People are always
technology
trying to
has
get an
changed.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be
just
honest, like, these things are so technology. It's not what they were creating with the weight holes back in the day, where you were getting some side weight and things like that.
Sure.
So they decided to go away from it. They also decided that it gives the ball like 2 boards extra hook.
Right.
And so when they looked at all that, they decided we're going to go away from it. And as a tournament operator, it makes life easier on me.
Yeah.
So the first thing we always hear is, well, who's going to enforce that? What's going to happen? The same people that always enforce it. The local bowlers.
Yeah.
That guy who's arguing that pins off spot or fell down or wants to call foul 5 lanes away.
Yeah.
That's going to be the guy that's going to say something.
Yeah.
So
That guy.
ultimately, yeah.
Be
If
that
you don't
guy.
know who that guy is,
We will find out who
if
that
you don't
guy
think
is.
that guy exists, it's
Yeah.
probably you.
Yeah, he exists.
But
He don't want you to have
it'd be
any
really
fun.
easy. I mean, there's been a weight rule the whole time.
Yeah.
So we allowed a weight hold, but there was a certain amount of side weight that was allowed. So no one ever challenged. I mean, not ever, but
Yeah.
you could challenge someone's bowling ball and make them take it to the shop and weigh it.
Right.
Now we're just taking that same rule, and rather than saying you get 1.25 ounces, I think is what it was, you get 3 ounces.
3. So
And
you
can't
can pretty
have a weight
much
hold.
put your pin now, or your
It
Your
gives
CG.
you,
CG,
it gives you
it's
some more
almost-
placement with your pin, with more options laying out the
I
ball.
mean, if you can't lay out a
It's
ball
like-
with 3 ounces of top weight, it'd
like
be
90, I
come
want to
on.
say 90 or 95% of balls produced don't have more than
Yeah.
3 ounces.
Right.
Exactly.
And if
So
they
you
do,
gotta-
they mark them X out.
Yeah.
So,
So, like,
it's like
It's not, the biggest thing is, get out there, get the weight hole plugged up. It's unfortunate you're going to spend some money on it, but at the same point, going forward, it's
I
going to be
think
easy.
it's
Are you using that hole to grip with?
Right.
Then you can have it. If you're not using it to grip with, then
Don't
you can't.
put it in there.
So can you have like some people use 3 fingers? Can you still do that
You
as
can
long as
use-
you're using
You
it?
can have as many holes for gripping purpose as you want. Or
Okay.
you have 5.
Yeah.
You have 5 fingers.
But what if you're like Jeremy, man, and you're 2 fingers, and sometimes
You use your
shoot-
thumb. Then you would need a ball to shoot spares with. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's 10 pin.
Yeah.
You're going to have a ball to shoot spares with, and you're not going to be able to use that during
Yeah.
a traditional
Well, I don't
release.
usually.
Yeah.
I haven't used my thumb in
So
a while.
like the
but
bowlers who do use their thumb and switch in and
Yeah.
out or take a finger out, you're going to have a
you're gonna
specific
have
spare
to
hole.
have different. for
And
different
the two-handers are going to see they're not going to be able to have those thumb holes because for a while we had like rules where you could cover as long as it covered your you look at
as
some
long
of
as
the
you
people's-
covered the
they
hole.
have a thumb hole and a weight hole,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
so that's all been kind of as a tournament operator, it's been kind of difficult the last 6 years as this has all kind of progressed.
keeping
to
tabs
keep
on
up
what's
with it.
going on.
But it'd be simple, and then as a two-hander, you'll have to actually mark an X on the ball as far as where your palm's going to go. Okay. So that you can't have 2 finger holes and then flip it back.
Roll it upside down.
Yeah.
Here's my thing though, man. Like, in the long run, does it really make that much difference? Like, if I wanted to punch holes in it any way I wanted to, does it make that much difference? You know, I got to throw the ball just like you got to throw the ball. Is it going to make that much difference?
I mean, is it going to make that much difference to your scores and stuff?
Yes.
Probably not. But what it's going to do is create an even playing field. You know, the rules haven't changed with the balls.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do is to update it and give something that's kind of fair. Because, like, we gave 2 years of both rules, an either or type of situation. Mm-hmm. Some people didn't hear about it, but, you know, you can only do so much by trying to get it out.
There has to be black and white line.
And that's what we're trying to get at. You know, the oil absorption rule is the same type of thing. It's like, hey, Pandora's box has been opened. We have this technology. So we don't want to say, like, hey, everybody, get your white dots out. We're going back to 1976. Yeah. You know, but we're trying to say, okay, we're going to draw some lines here. We're going to do some stuff here to try to create some limitations going forward.
I can understand.
Yeah, because it'll get outrageous if you don't.
And that's, you know, like we discussed, the oil absorption rate. A lot of that is because, you know, how much we all agree that there's more oil in the lane now than there was 10 years ago.
Why?
Why is because the bowling balls were thrown harder.
I mean, you're coming.
You throw these things up here, and they're
because
still
everybody
balls,
wants the more. Hook. You know, everybody wants the more hook, more powerful.
It's the same
ball.
problem in golf, man. I want the driver that hits it 20 more yards harder.
Exactly.
I know, but somebody's responsible for doing that, man. Like,
why? It's a communal thing.
Yeah.
You know, we could have been harder on the rules, but at the same time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't.
That may have caused issues.
I mean, this ball, when it come out, it hooked a ton. You really
it's still,
and now it's a mid-level ball.
Yeah, it is.
Technology has gone forward, and so what we're trying to do is create lines where it's like, hey, we just want to get a grasp of the situation.
Yeah, we just want to bowl, man.
What's going to happen in 10 years is, you know, you all got the new ball that's dull, right, and you throw it and it comes back, and the oil's already gone off of it.
Yeah.
So, like, as a proprietor, as a manager, it was a struggle for me because people would say, well, the shot didn't play very well tonight.
Yeah.
Well, you only bowled on my shot for the 10 minutes of practice. After that, it's what you make it because these balls, you know, didn't really do that as much.
So are they putting limitations on how much oil that the ball can absorb?
Yes.
Okay.
And so there's actually a test.
Do you know how? Okay. Here we go. Here's
there's a test. There's actually they've got a little like syringe,
and
they've got 3 LED lights so they don't emit any heat. And they put a droplet of oil on
lane oil
on the ball. They dull all the balls at 500.
All right.
And so that's an even starting point. So like this shiny ball is not going to absorb the way that is.
Sure.
And so then they put the drop on it and they time it. They've got a frame by frame camera on it.
Yep.
And so they said this is how quickly it absorbed it.
Yeah.
And you know I could not express what the limitation is, and that's for people in the
I understand.
equipment specs. But there's a limit in which it can absorb.
Okay.
And so it's I believe when they put that in, almost every ball still passed it. So it's not like they were saying, hey, we're going to toss this, and this ball. It was like, hey, this is the new standard. This is where we're going to go forward. If you want something that's similar, college baseball had all the home runs 10 years ago. So what they did was the bats were really lively. So they changed the standards on the bats.
Okay.
And they brought it to where the aluminum bat reacted more like a wood bat.
Okay.
And so what you're seeing now, like with the College World Series, I mean, there was only like 3 home runs in the whole College World Series.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, there was like 30.
A whole bunch of them.
And so it's kind of like, hey, we just need to, you know.
It keeps you from having to keep coming up with a rule for somebody that's trying to,
go above and beyond.
Trying to manipulate something. You're just trying to,
we don't want people to bowl bad. It's not the point of it. We're not saying none of the equipment that you're throwing. You plug the weight hole, your bowling ball performance isn't going to drop.
Like how many weight holes do we never drill really at weight hole?
We usually put our
CG near the palm almost every ball we drill. So it's like, and it still reacts good.
I didn't like weight. I mean, I know it changes your. It can change your ball reaction. You know.
And when you buy a bowling ball, 80% of what you're getting is in the cover stock.
Oh yeah.
And so the weight hole and those were just little tweaks that the ball would roll a little different. Yeah, for you, you're still bowling with 1976.
Yeah.
Ron Willett be proud of you.
He wants to get rid of all the resin stuff. He's like,
we're not on that cake. Not on that.
Let's go back to 19.
No.
I mean, it's crazy. You think about like scoring pace, like whatever Derek won higher in the country with like whatever 251 or 2. Ron Willett had 233 in 1980.
Wow.
With a like UDOT.
That's incredible.
So you're
that's
that
amazing.
30, almost 40 years later, we got 14 more pins to score. That's it.
That's amazing.
And
That's
so, like,
incredible.
you know, we've had scores. The scores, like, everyone thinks some of this stuff just appeared out of nowhere.
No, it's just.
It's definitely, the game
easier.
has changed.
It's easier for guys to be good.
Transition is a whole nother animal. Mm-hmm. Like when my dad and them grew up with all the plastic balls, the transition was on the back part of the lane. Yeah. We got the carry down. We don't have nearly the carry down that we used to have, but we have all the front traffic. Yeah. You know, thank God we don't blow in wood lanes like we used to.
Oh my goodness, I know.
This stuff would hook out of your bar.
It
would want to roll at your ankles.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Good old
And so that's, the game has changed. We got synthetic panels. We got a lane machine that's 1,000 times more accurate than what we were doing. I mean, I remember working at Linden, stripping them by hand and running a century machine. And that would not be enough oil to keep any of this stuff that we make today on the lane.
It's just, you know, there has to be some point to where they're like, man, this is enough hook on one ball.
That's probably never going to happen. I mean, that's their job. Their job is to push the envelope.
Yeah, their job is to sell bowling balls.
Yeah,
I mean, they want to. What's going to sell? The ball that hooks the most.
And what's the guy coming to the pro shop and say? I want the
ball that hooks.
And it's the funny thing is the guy buys the chalky hook Master 4000, and then he goes and stands on 5, and it hooks into the beak, and he's like, well, put some oil in the lane, and that's how you get 50 units of oil in the lane. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That would be the.
What was the name of that ball again?
I call it the Chalky Hook Master 3000.
That's
what I always like.
We need to come up with.
We have a friend. I had a guy who was averaging a bunch in a league and crushed him. He went and bought 3 new bowling balls and bowled terrible for the whole last part of the year. And I'm like, man, why'd you?
That's me. I bowl good with the ball and win some money, and then I go buy a different ball that
no
no
ball syndrome. Yeah.
It's
new. It's shiny.
It's fun.
It's like, will they ever make a Corvette that doesn't go faster? No, they're gonna go faster. That's the purpose of it. That's you know.
Well, at least they're setting some kind of limits on it.
Yeah, it's just as a bowler, the weight block thing or weight hole thing, you're gonna have to get the weight holes plugged up. You're gonna notice that the oil absorption thing when they get approved, you know, when you get those, you can't see it, but the USBC approved logo on your ball, every bowling ball goes through and gets checked by USBC.
Every single ball.
Yep. Not every single ball.
But they send
every distributor sends an amount in which we check.
Okay, how many is it? Do you know?
I think it's 4, maybe 6.
4, 6.
Yeah, I don't work in that department, so I'm not 100% sure. But they send a case or so, and then if they have any questions, they require some more. And they'll do further testing.
Well, I knew they changed some of those rules too. Like your differential can only be
the differential
rules.
And this is all stemming from the same type of thing of trying to get a hold of it because the technology got ahead of the rules.
Absolutely.
You know, the rules were made for a wood lane, run with a century machine, and a blue hammer, and this is not any of those things.
No, that's definitely not.
And so we're trying to catch up, and there's some pains to it. Like I said,
is there any way we can get rid of twister pins?
Talk to your local proprietor.
Get them out of production.
They are definitely different.
Thank you. Thank you for saying
They require a different, I mean, they've got tests where they score just as well. Yeah. And I will tell you my experience of bowling on them. You can kick out a bucket into a 9 count so easy. Like your bad shot gets into a very makeable
You do get
spare.
a lot of 9 counts.
But if you throw it like Matt Ogle and you send 10 straight to the back, there you can just it's like a bomb went off and there's that one pin.
There it is.
So
light hits. Like
to me, you got to keep them dancing. They
and
bounce
take,
well on the
deck.
Like when he bowled this weekend on him, he bowled better because he was hitting a little lighter.
I tried a different angle.
I've had good sets on him. I've had terrible sets on him.
Yeah, so we don't bowl on very much anyway.
We like to talk about it though.
Yeah, that's funny.
When they used to do the Proprietor's Cup, originally the house had twister pins, and so every Proprietor's Cup. I just see all kinds of Facebook posts about people hating twister pins because all the best bowlers in the country up there are just miserable on twister pins.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, man. So
it's all about the sound is different. Like being a mechanic in the back.
Oh man,
they just sound
so
different
for me because bowling sounds a certain way to me, man. So when I hear them,
it feels different on them. They just feel like a little cheaper.
We talk about twister pins on the show a lot.
We do.
Some people love them. Some people hate them.
We're not fans of them. That's all right. Plus, all these wood ones are made in the USA.
They're actually all made by the same distributor, and yes, pretty much Cubic AMF makes all the pins in America.
They're made in USA.
Yes,
and the twister pins are made in Germany.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's another big.
And USBC approves every single type of pin too.
Do they?
Yeah. So when you wonder what your $20 goes for, first of all, only 13 of that actually goes to the national organization, but we are spot checking.
Let's
all
break
the
it.
equipment,
Can we break that
all
down
pins.
while you're here? Do you want?
How does that work? Well, it's different everywhere.
Is the card going up this year? I heard it was going up to $25.
Yes, I believe it's $25.
Okay, can we?
Locally,
do you have enough information where you can break that down for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way it works is USBC National gets $13 out of every membership.
So like the big group.
Yeah. So your $25 card, let's say that's the price.
Okay.
And $13 is going to Arlington.
Okay.
Going to Texas.
Yes.
That's what covers having people like me employed.
Sure.
Having a tournament staff to do open championships.
Sure.
Yeah. Checking the bowling balls, checking all that stuff.
Okay.
Offering rules, like if you get an issue in your league,
yeah,
you can contact the rules department and have a third party help you deal with it.
Okay.
And that's like insurance. You don't realize how valuable that is till you have to call up there and use it.
Okay.
And then locally, $2 goes to the state of Kentucky Association. They've got some programs they do, and then they run their state tournaments and things like that.
Sure.
And then locally, as in Louisville specific, like Louisville Metro, the new association, and I was a board member on that for a couple of years, they get the balance. So you're looking at the other $10.
Okay, so since it's going up to 25, is that going to change? Like USBC will get a bigger chunk?
No, the USBC number is set. It can't change till earliest is 2022.
Oh, okay.
And so that there is an opportunity that 2022 the price could go up $2 more.
To $27.
I do have a question. Oh,
well,
we're paying
they could
a
adjust
little bit
it
more.
Uh-huh.
Can I at least get a patch?
Well,
I'm just messing with you.
I will tell you, I was the GLBA president for 6 years. I was the guy in charge of the men's association, and the patch discussion was like the hardest thing. When they dropped the awards, I remember thinking like, "Oh, we'll take it up, we'll make it work." And we had like 5 meetings where we were talking about what are you gonna give the bowlers, and we could not agree. Because some people were like, "Patches are stupid. We don't want patches," and some people were like, "Well, let's give them pins. Well, we don't want pins." And all these discussions. So,
hey, man, it's just we grew up, we come up.
With the patches,
ABC, patches,
rings, stuff like that. But
I understand that scores now are more prevalent.
Yeah.
300 is not what it used
yeah.
to be. 800 is not what it
Absolutely.
used to be.
Yeah.
But we got rings for $298 and $290. What was it?
$298, $299,
and
$300, $800.
So like ultimately the rings were being paid for out of your national portion. They still are.
Yeah.
And so if we had continued the program, we'd be bankrupt.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of 300s we give out now is just
it's ridiculous.
It's more than we gave out in 1980 when we had 3 times the members.
Yeah.
And so that just wasn't feasible. That's why we went to the once in a lifetime, which, if you think about it, in reality of all the members that we have, 10, 15%, maybe 20 if you're being generous, shoot honor scores.
Right.
So is it fair for 20% of the members to get 80% of the awards budget?
That is true.
Because they keep getting ranks.
they kept.
Yeah, so like when I was president, we went to a one-size-fits-all type of. We actually remember the cups. Did y'all get the red cup?
Did we get a rig? Oh, I did
So,
get a red cup.
That said GLBA on it before we merged? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we did that, and everybody got the red cup, and that was your prize. And if you ever turned 20 and never shot an honor score, you got this prize.
Yeah.
And if you bowled 4 leagues and averaged 240, you get the same thing because you all pay the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So that was what we did.
At least somebody got something.
And so locally, the Louisville Association gives you all those little key rings this year.
Yeah.
And then they have some awards as well that are pins and things like that.
I got one on my keychain.
And they're adding some other things. A little bit of it is, when we merged the associations, we didn't know what exactly was going to get asked for.
Sure.
Like there's a clean 30 award.
I saw one of those.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is.
I'm
nice.
so upset 3 times this year. I 7-10 to not get my clean 30
really?
award. I want that plaque so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't see one of those for years.
Yeah, and so
they got one. I was like, what
And
the
it's
heck?
not neat because a lot of different styles of bowler can have a clean 30.
Yeah.
There's a clean game award. I mean, there's.
Yeah.
It's not. Like Chuck E. Cheese redemption wall with all these things, but there's things you can get, and that's what your $10 is going for, as well as paying for somebody to process all your memberships, turn your averages in so they show up on bowl.com, handle any disputes we have, hold the meetings, host your tournaments. I mean, the C tournament, I think they're doing a mixed doubles this year.
Yeah.
The UC tournament, all that. That's what the $10 goes for.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you bowl 30 weeks of league and you're paid $25. You're paying less than $1 a week.
That is,
I know it sounds like a USBC home thing, obviously. 'Cause I work for it.
I wasn't bringing it up for. I'm just.
My brother
joking.
played lacrosse and he had to join US Lacrosse, and he was $75, and he got none of that stuff.
Yeah.
He got a magazine every 2 months. That's what he got.
So I'm just trying. I'm still learning about USBC, what they do. That's why I'm glad you're here. And you're not and you'll talk about it.
And we don't have a stop clock today, so
that's all right, man.
we're just letting you know.
We're probably getting close to that time, though, man.
Yeah, we're going to do the ask you some questions.
All right.
There we go.
And if it works out, maybe I come back again
sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
You're coming back.
You're definitely coming back.
You're our USBC guy now, man. So when I got a question, you're coming back. All right, come on, man.
All right, here we go. How did you get started in bowling?
How I got started was my family had a center, so I spent a lot of time.
Linden Lane.
How I really got into it was high school bowling. I went to Trinity, Joe Fowler, and Chuck
And
Farish.
you said you didn't get into it till later because I mean, you didn't really have a lot of interest early on.
Early on, like if I had anything else, I'd skip bowling.
Yeah.
And so I never really was too much of a worry about it. But in high school, it was pretty apparent that I was not going to make the football team at Trinity or the basketball team. So it was like I wanted to play a sport. I love sports. I love competition. And then Joe and Chuck had this team that was 2-time state champion. And actually, the summer before, I practiced all summer and got my average up like 30 pins, and I made the varsity team.
Awesome.
And that was the beginning of the obsession.
You went up 30 pins in how long?
In about 2 months. I read the Fred Borden bowling book.
Yeah.
From front to back, and I did the practice sessions every day.
You know, that's one thing I've never read a bowling book. I've never had a coaching lesson or anything.
You might need to read that book.
I'm being serious.
Yeah,
I might need to, because I've never.
We've never had lessons or anything. I mean, we just kind
of. Oh man, there's so much. It's such there's so much to the sport that even I don't understand. I've been in it for forever. Yeah, as far as like ball reaction, just bowling with Mike Kahn and Steven Zimmer in league.
Yeah.
They can tell me when I'm going to flat 10, 2 shots where it happens and stuff.
See,
and so it's gotten you gotta have an open mind to listen to what everybody's got.
I love learning. I mean,
there's obviously different styles. I mean, you don't throw it the way that we would teach it in the Fred Borden book. But you know, there's definitely theories and thoughts and stuff that is very valuable. A lot of good information out there.
I need to get into it too. I need to learn. I love learning about stuff.
Learning especially about bowling too. You can never learn enough about bowling.
I never had that.
It's a very technical
constantly,
sport.
All right, hit him with
here we go. Who is your favorite pro bowler?
Hey, that's good.
My favorite pro bowler is Walter Ray. When I was I don't hook the ball.
He's the king.
And so he was my when you watch all these dudes 500 rev rates and there's him horseshoeing them down the middle.
They just whacking everybody.
As a guy with no revs, it was like, that's my man. That's my
guy right there.
I need somebody to look up to.
I can compete, When Mike Hahn and Brett Shepard were going around me, I was like, I can still win.
You just
Walter still wins.
Yeah, and he had that same form too. He'd rip his arm like that.
Until now, he's two-hander.
Yeah.
Adapt or survive.
That's right, man.
I can't do it. So
well, this is probably the same. I don't know if it's the same question or not, but if you could imitate any bowler style, who would it be and why?
If you could throw it like anybody.
If I could throw it like anybody, I would like to throw it like Bill O'Neill. Because I think he's got
a
nice, sound, fundamental game, but he also is able to get on the ball and hook him.
He does it good.
I love the way
he throws the ball.
His release is good.
Yeah, and he plays. He plays. He can hook the ball, but his ball just gets down the lane. I like the way he throws the ball.
I mean, I would settle for like
Simonson
and Belmonte. I could live with that ball roll too.
We get a lot of Belmonte. That's
I mean, it's great.
Who wouldn't, man?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Is this the one? Oh, it's my favorite question. This question is brought to you by the Bowling Knightz Balls of Fame. Go check out our favorite bowling balls at bowlingknights.com. All right, here you go.
All right, what is your favorite ball of all time?
So I saw that you asked him like this. I had to put some serious thought to it. I figured I was going to get asked it too. So if I have to really pick, then I would say the Columbia 300 Blue and White Wicked.
Blue and white. Oh, okay. That was around 2003, 2004.
Yeah, it's right by the time I got in high school bowling. It was like my first real.
I remember that ball. I never threw it.
And it was awesome.
I mean, it had the pink letters in it.
Yeah, pink letters. I still have one.
I'm gonna throw one up right here for you.
It's amazing because it hooked out of the building then, and now I can play pump 5 with it. So.
Yeah. Cool. So what did that ball do for you? You said it hooked out the house?
It hooked a lot more than at that time compared to anything else I had, but also. It was like the first time I ever saw a ball kind of skid and flipped, but it didn't go. I've had like Black Widows and stuff like that I've hated because they were just. It was like the washout big 4 machine. I couldn't get it, but that ball was like it would set up real nice.
It would hook at the right time.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had I had a 14-pound one, and then my dad gave me a 16-pound one, and that's when I still had it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was actually hurt my wrist with that one. That's how I ended up seeing.
And he did have
problems with his wrist too. I went and got my wrist looked at today, bowlers. I'm pretty excited.
You? Yeah. How was the news on that?
No structural damage, so
that's the most important part.
They put a shot in there. They said 3 to 5 days, man.
You ever see my dad's wrist? So he fell down and cracked all those little bones in your wrist.
Yes.
What they call boxer syndrome, and so he wanted to keep bowling. So they normally fuse your wrist straight, and they put a bar in there. Now they've got better technology, but so his wrist is literally stuck like that, like in Robbie's position,
because he wanted to keep.
Position. Yeah, so he can bowl.
His bowl position.
It's like he's wearing a Robbie's 24/7.
They talked to the
He got Robbie's wrist.
Oh yeah,
he's like just put in bowler.
Yeah, they said they normally open them up like this, so you can grab cups and stuff. And he said, no, I want
put it in any position you can.
So the guy was like, hey, I think we can do it. He shot 300.
That's what you need.
Yeah,
you need to tell him. I want it in this.
Yeah, if it gets stuck, get that good position. Yeah,
you
had to keep that ball speed up now because he's older. So now everything hooks off the back ends for him. You got all that rev rate and the ball speed. Yeah.
All right. What's the next one? Here we go, man.
That's the last one. That's a good one. What is your high series?
My high series is 815.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The only 800 I've ever had.
Where was that at?
It was at Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl North or South?
Rose Bowl North.
That was my.
And it was in that summer trio league.
Yeah.
And I had
before the war.
Yeah, right before the war.
Right before the war. One of my favorites.
I had to split the high series pot with
somebody.
Oh
no! That's terrible. What a terrible ending.
And I can't remember. I've got the score sheet, but it was a 4-game league, and we all shot a huge amount, and we split points too. Yeah. I remember joking about like, how do you shot like 3,000?
So did you say you was bowling against the person?
We were bowling teams, the 3-man teams, and so like I shot over 1,000. Andrew Watterson was bowling; he shot over 1,000, and like Steven Zimmer had like 970. So we had 3,000 for a 3-man team, and we split the points for that night. Because it's an ongoing joke every time it pops up on Facebook. I was like, y'all remember the time we shot 3,000 and split with Mike Roseberry's team?
That's great.
Jeez. And what ball was that? You thrown it?
That was a mix with the Storm IQ Tour, the solid ball.
Oh, okay. That's one of everybody's favorites.
And the Hypercell. I bowled the first 2 games with the Hypercell, and the back 2 games with the IQ Tour.
Everybody loves them balls, man.
I've never had a Tour Solid or a Game Breaker I didn't like.
Yeah. I love Game Breakers.
I mean,
that's why I'm wondering, hopefully Storm's watching, if they're going to re-release that ball.
They still make
They stopped producing the IQs?
They still make
the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Storm will produce something for, like, the High Road's been produced.
Oh, the High Road. I knew the High Road
That's what's cool about it.
I was in youth leagues when the High Road came out.
All right, man.
Yeah, the High Road's a good ball. I got that ball.
That was the last question.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, we got anything else you'd like to say? We'd like to do a little wrap-up thing, man. You can say anything you want. We keep it real here. You can say, if you want to talk about anything else, we can, or you can say hi, or anybody.
Just want to thank everybody for their support.
Yes.
I run the youth tournaments in the summer. I do the Kentucky Open, and
thank you.
It's it means so much to me to hear all the nice things said.
Yes.
I appreciate it. When it comes to working for USBC, if I can help you guys out, I'd love to help out. It's our job pretty much to get out there and do that.
Yes.
And it's easy for people sometimes to think that it's like the tower way out there, but everybody who works there does it because they love bowling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good place. I've really enjoyed it. I like the people I work with, and I love bowling. I mean, it's my downfall.
You meet a lot of people with similar interests.
Like us,
oh yeah, it's great. You get to go see them and do the things they do well, and then when you get to help them out and give them an idea that
they might use,
and it makes a big difference to their bowlers. It's great.
Cool.
The same way when you run a tournament, it's a tournament.
Yeah.
If I don't have the bowlers show up, it's just me sitting at a table by myself and executives at Friday night.
Right.
If we don't have the bowlers, if they don't come, if you don't treat them well, if you don't, try to meet their expectations and exceed them, then they won't come. Right. It's not a difficult thing,
Yeah.
It seems like it, and that's
bowlers want to bowl, man.
Yeah. So you give them opportunities, and you give them opportunities to work out. I mean, 110 average lady's not coming to the Kentucky Open. I get it. So I don't market to her. But there's places for them to bowl. When I ran the Derby tournament, that lady, I needed to give her a fair chance to win.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that as bowlers, we've always done it this way.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not always right. Maybe we need to look at it a different way.
Maybe it's time to look at the way we're doing things, man. So, yep. I agree.
Well, we appreciate you being on and
no
y'all
problem.
hard work, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate
After
it
this,
all.
I go program the scoring at Kingdom tonight.
He's got a big weekend coming
Kentucky
up.
Open weekend this
Kentucky
weekend.
Open weekend.
Hey, hopefully we will be streaming the final 7-game block.
Yeah,
there.
that will be fun.
Thank you guys for doing that. I'm excited.
I
It's going to be
man.
a lot easier and not use all my cell phone data. I've just been live streaming with a phone.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get over there. We do that because we love it.
Yeah,
and,
it is fun.
It is fun. We get all our fellow bowlers involved. So watch that on the. We're gonna probably share that Kentucky Open page, but then we'll share it to the Bowling Knightz page too. So. You'll be able to catch that somewhere this weekend. And make sure y'all checking out bowlingknights.com. Always got our latest videos up there. Check out our YouTube channel, man. We throwing up ball reviews and we make fun videos. We do videos because they're fun and we like to do it.
It's been kind of a little slow during summer, but
we'll
pick back up once winter.
We got a few ideas starting.
Oh yeah, the ball releases will speed up too.
Yeah. So
they'll be throwing them out like M&Ms.
Yes, they will.
Not my strength. Yeah, y'all.
We love bowling balls, man. So there you go.
That's why I pay the pro shop guys.
There you go. I think it's going to do it for this one. Bud, you got anything else?
That's it.
All right, man. For Bud, John McCarthy III, I'm Joe Bowler. Later, Bowler.
Later, America.
See ya.
Oh, he was hanging.
In the air forever.
You was all over me. You was
like those
all
finger
over
rolls,
me.
they just like stay up there. It's like if you just would have shot it, you would have made it. You just stay there forever.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
no.
how'd that happen?
I don't know.
Oh, I missed him. Is that game?
I would have tied it.
That'd be the last time the Knicks win for like 3 months.